Hello, Leicester. That wasn't very good. Hello, Leicester. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Please remember to buy Boston's book, support poets, please. So I've got 5 poems for you today. The first poem is dedicated to all the black aunties, the ones that are related to us and the ones that are not. Okay. Sorry, I had to do it off my phone. I was still editing today, so I couldn't memorize any of them. Auntie is alone. She puts on that old 80s Fuji banger, Wasiu Ayinde or Barista or Fela. Something that allows Auntie to revisit her youth. The days she ironed her longish curls dry, a bendy road slick like tarmac, and Auntie winds her waist to the running of drums, the collapsing of keyboard, the deep, rustic voice of the saxophone. She is a mantra I must master. At the next family link-up, she is the first to shoot up from her chair. Hands pushing against the music, watch. Back controlling the cadence, look. No one tells her to be quiet here. Shy I am, undoing this knowledge of Auntie as this heavy gourd that should not be broken. And she has become water, dancing, flowing, just like that. Just like that. I clap my paper plate hands, tired from the excitement of clapping my own hands. Music change. Auntie does another time travel, sexual healing Marvin Gaye. At the edge of the dance floor is my sister, paddling her feet slowly, all smiles, wanting to move her hips like Auntie. And she'll get there. Later at home, the mirror appears with me bold, teaching my back like my hand, that leg like that, just like that, just like that. Thank you. That's the first poem. So the next poem, I was sort of looking at the theme of black women again, and when we think about pain, we don't really envision black women feeling pain. If you know the history of George Sims and his experiment on black women, because he thought they didn't feel pain. And then I was trying to think of, I guess, if a black woman was an organ, a body organ, what would she be? Like, not because we want to be, but because of how we're seen. So this poem is called What Organ Would a Black Woman Be? She was a body organ. A gentle crack appeared in the salt mountains piling in my stomach. Walls drape in blisters. My stomach sits inside of me, and it sits inside of my mother and my sisters and my aunts and my grandmas. We are connected by 2 stubborn pipelines. I pick up my belly like a baby, reliving Vesuvius before eruption, ulcers sprinting along the lining of Pompeii. Black fog putrefying the gullet. Who will send a search party for us? Swallowed tears trickle soul into more shaky crags. And one day, the heart and the stomach converse about which muscle stomachs the most. Skin splutters black dregs. Splintered legs whimper in the corner. Blue blood rust the valve. And stomach chooses forgiveness, storing more unweathered storms in a hollow muscle. Thank you. The next poem is a bit more uplifting. I was trying to think of all the things that make me happy, well, that I observe, in terms of when we look at black joy. And this is sort of like a yeah, that's the word. I'm not even going to bother trying to say it. And also looking at the form of ghazal. So this is like a broken ghazal, which is not a real ghazal. But, so yeah. If I had to write what it means to live black joy, it would look peaceful, ethereal and golden it would be a blessed black joy. The smell of rice and spicy beef stew, extra crispy plantain. Malt, swallows, food that waltz with our soul, the clanking sound of pot lids opening for seconds of seasoned black joy. Sitting between my mother's legs, Sunday night, my mother carving the path she wants for me and my sisters. Wealth, health, and gratitude glimmering around our crown. I'm trying to be like you, says the brother at the gym, in the library, on the road, in the men's toilet, to the other brothers who reply, nah, I'm just trying to be like you. Knuckles to knuckles, shoulders to shoulder, brotherly bonds, positively charged black joy. Sitting outside with my cousins as childhood reminisces about us. Playful laughter that swallows time. We slowly pull apart our scraped, ashy needs that bleeds black joy. Another day in the barber shop, another counseling session, another trim that is anything less than dangerous. The saggy sofas that feels like home, the haircut posters that are older than me, the mirrors, the music, the shoes. I lie in the glory of what it means to live black joy. Thank you. So I'm a black Muslim, and after the George Floyd, after he was murdered, his father gave a speech. Before he started his speech, he said this short surah, which is a very important verse for Muslims that we say for every prayer, Surah Al-Fatiha. And this opened up a conversation about the black Muslim identity, because not only do we face racism within the Muslim community, we also face Islamophobia outside of the Muslim community. And then I was sort of exploring my relationship with the mosque, because as people grow up in the church, I grew up in the mosque, and looking at how this looks now, and that kind of fear that I feel sometimes when I'm in the mosque, which is justified. And this poem is called Martyr. Is an unfinished prayer, an unanswered one. When the first shiver ran down the mosque's spine, no one uttered a word. It was close to Asr. Every soul shall taste death, I learned in madrasa, even when I could immortalize this death they speak of. The shivers have not stopped. They continue to walk over the mosque. Great thing to do. The roof is leaking sand by the bookshelf. The security guard appeared once and has stayed since that Ramadan we dropped rice on crimson carpet. Eyes never leaving the exit. One window to the left and 4 others to the right. The gates clutch withered flowers well below their dying age. The last vigil was only a couple of weeks ago. Shallow breaths follow after prayer piece. The sadaqah box still clanks at the fisting of copper beyond these gates. We are a lost herd chewing carnage in our left cheek. We come to practice ecstasies, guide us to the right path side by side. They made the mosque a battleground, then ask us why we harm ourselves in prayers 5 times over and over and over and over. Thank you. So the last poem I'm going to perform is, so I do a lot of poems surrounding names and African names, because most of us that have normal sounding names, we probably went through high school with our names trying to be, well, being shortened or nicknames. So I'm Yoruba, Oh, I learned an important fact yesterday. One in every four Africans are Nigerians. So looking at like how important the Yoruba naming tradition is very important to us because we believe that your name has an influence on your social standing and attitudes and behavior. So we never name a name that's not good or does not have a good meaning. So yeah. This next poem is called Oyalowo, which basically, when you're a diaspora and go home, it basically means children of white man's land. So basically, and this poem is about our naming ceremony, and yeah, let me just get into it. At our naming ceremonies, they killed colossal cows for us. Guests cracked drumstick bones and drank the marrow. They swallowed bite-sized skeletons and imbibed malt from bottled goblets. We cried, a plea for our mothers to choose names that wouldn't make strangers choke on sharp bones, on us. Ekwe congratulations on the dangers you endured. Our mothers knew what bringing us here meant. A world with paper throats not built for difference. Our naming ceremony was a foretelling for the Oyalowo who will one day ask where the remains of the cows lay, so they can pick ceremonial bones from their teeth, hear it lodge in their diaphragm, and alter the way they breathe their self-worth. Thank you.